and that really helps allow for a very diverse commission. So some key dates, I won't go through all of these, but some key dates. Right now, the application process is open. We opened that up on June 1st last week, and so you can apply for either the panel or the commission starting now or a week ago. On September 1st, the panel applications close, and so that's the deadline if you want to apply for the panel to get in there. And then for the commission, that date is September 30th. So really between now and September 30th, you'll hear a lot about this. I hope you'll see a lot about this because we're really trying to recruit as many applicants as we can so we can have a diverse commission. So one thing to note that's different, the last time we did this process was in 2012. It passed, and in 2013 we did the recruitment. When we were doing that, we had about 35,000 eligible voters, and now we have over 150,000. The Austin's population has increased, but I'm sure you know it has not increased by quite that much. That shift is really because the first time we did it, we were doing that based on May local elections. And when the local elections moved to November, as anticipated, we had a lot more participation, and so there are a lot more eligible people eligible for the commission based on that voting requirement. So both because of the increase in potential commission candidates as well as the pandemic, which has changed our planned approach to outreach, we're doing more expansive outreach than we did last time. So we do still need to meet our timelines in the charter related to the commission, but we've shifted our focus to more virtual engagement and also physical outreach that does not involve in-person meetings. So that includes things like billboard, TV and radio spots, social media, virtual meetings, and more. And speaking of the and more, we are going to have a virtual town hall where the public can ask us questions virtually on June 18th at 6 p.m. And that's an opportunity for the community to learn more about the process and answer any questions they might have. And then we're going to have other virtual engagement opportunities throughout the campaign. So everything you need to know about redistricting, as I've mentioned, is on our website, redistrictatx.org. And you can also apply to be on the commission or the panel through that website. We are translating all of our redistricting materials, information, and applications into multiple languages. Right now we have those translated into Spanish, Chinese, and Vietnamese, but we will translate into other languages by request. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions about the process, and I hope you all will participate in shaping Austin's future.
Good morning, this is Ryan Atula with the American Statesman. I'll be the pool reporter asking questions on behalf of other media members.
Great.
Corrie, Community Impact Newspaper asks, council members must live in their districts for 6 months before their filing deadline. Why do members of the redistricting commission have to live in the city for 5 years?
You know, I think the way that was designed by a group of citizens back when it was basically the referendum was put on the ballot and passed. And so those restrictions were all designed by those citizens at the time. So not something that we necessarily have influence over, but it is our responsibility to follow those requirements when recruiting commissioners.
KUT News asks, is there a particular inequity in the current map that you want to focus on when redrawing the districts?
Not to my knowledge. I think that the idea is that we don't really have that data yet. With the 2020 census, we'll have new data, and that new data will allow us to figure out, or not really us, allow the commission to figure out what the best boundaries are for the council districts to make sure that everybody is represented on the council going forward.
KXAN News asked a question that you may have just answered in your last answer there. How will the growing population and changes in demographics play a role in redistricting?
I think that those things are kind of key to the work that this commission will the work that is in front of this commission. So the commission is responsible for drawing. There are some requirements around, for example, they should be equivalent or near equivalent in population. And so they'll have to make sure that that's still true in any redrawing that they do. And so there are various requirements for those districts that I think this data is really that's going to be the challenge before this commission, is making sure that everyone has a voice, or can have a voice on the Austin City Council.
And then I will ask you a couple that I came up with. Is it possible that we come out of this process with more than 10 districts?
I don't believe that's possible, because the way it's specific in the charter that there will be 10 at-large districts plus the mayor.
Okay. Community Impact has one more question. When the panel selects its 60 qualified applicants, does it have a way to ensure that they are representative of the 10 existing districts?
That is information that we collect, and it's information that I believe that the panel will consider, as will the commission, when the commission is selecting the remaining 6 members of the commission. So that's definitely information that we're collecting and that we're providing to the panel.
Another one for me: how, if at all, would the redistricting impact elections for a city council member who has years left on his or her term? Would it impact it all, or would their district just potentially change?
So my understanding is that it would not impact them currently or before the election in 2022. I believe they would serve out their term, but that's really more of a legal question and something that we can get more information about. But you do have to live in the district that you represent. So at some point, if you no longer lived in the same district, you would be impacted by this process.
Okay. And a clarification for me, again, you said that the 14 members of the commission include CPAs?
No, that's the panel. So the applicant review panel is the group that selects the 60 most qualified commissioners. And so those, I mean, you could be a CPA and be on the commission, but you have to be a CPA to be on the panel. And then that panel, which is CPAs with at least 5 years of audit experience, I believe it is, they are responsible for narrowing down however many applications we get to what they feel is the 60 most qualified.
And how large will that panel be?
3 people.
I got you. I believe that is all the questions that I have in the queue.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Corrie.